What's good, everybody? Welcome to the MVP show. You know the vibes. I'm your boy Diesel.
Yeah, it's your boy Cali Bo, man. Shout out to the ATL Hookah Lady, man. Also, shout out to my little boy Blake. He did his first performance at Uptown Comedy Corner, so I'm a proud dad right now. That's what's, I'm always a proud dad, but you know.
Aww. Shout out to the dads. We're gonna round of applause for that. It's your boy Have a Kid. You know, I'm not making my drinks, unfortunately, this week. So another week without me making my cocktails, but I'm sure you'll be okay. And today, you know, DC Daryl, Lil Daryl, as I like to call him, he is not here today, unfortunately. Shout out to Daryl. He's booked and busy. I'm sure you see him and all of that model shit. But I do have a special guest today. She's our co-host. She's one of my closest friends. I call her Poison Ivy, but her name is Ivy, you know? Ivy, tell the kids hello.
Hello, how are you all?
Welcome to the MVP show.
It's been such an amazing pleasure to just be here with you guys today. Thank you so much for gracing me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for showing up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I mean, when I tell you this is my friend, we've been friends for maybe a decade, maybe a little bit over a decade. I'm not sure. I don't know the numbers quite too well. But it is her birthday.
Oh, shit.
So we definitely want to acknowledge Libra season.
How old are you?
Yes, buddy.
Yeah, so we talking about birthdays. What's the age we giving this?
Well, the age that we're giving is the factual age. So the age today is 54.
Period.
Yes.
Now, if you don't mind, because she's 54, but she got that 23-year-old shape. If you don't mind, can you stand up real quick and let's just see what all you got going on? Like, just give us a quick spin real quick. Y'all gotta take it all in.
Look at that ass.
Y'all gotta take it all
Look
in.
at that. Oh, turn back around one time.
Y'all gotta take it all in.
Turn back around one time. And stop right there. Right there. Right there. See that right there?
All right.
See that?
All right.
See
Enough
that?
is enough now.
See that? Just saying.
But,
That's an ass. that booty.
I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank you for stopping by. You know, this is the MVP show, but you know, point of views are point of views.
Wait, before we get started, I think it's only in honor of her birthday. I think it only makes sense that we take a birthday shot. Okay. Was
Yeah,
everyone cool with that?
That's cool because I've been sipping
Everyone,
up
we're
here.
gonna take
Jesus!
a shot. We're gonna take a shot for Ivy in regards to her birthday. Ivy, you got anything special you want to say? Or Ricky, matter of fact, you do the toast for her.
Well, I definitely want to cheers to 54 years of life, 54 years of beauty, 54 years of wisdom. She's definitely gave me a lot of wisdom and a lot of peace. And, you know, I don't tell her this a lot, but she's definitely kept me grounded. So I definitely want to shout out to her and cheers on that.
Cheers.
Clank, 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 clank.
Cheers.
All right, hold on, y'all.
Friendships. It's about
Speaking of
friendships.
friendships, y'all, can we talk for a minute?
Yes.
What up?
Can we talk about friendships, right?
What up? What we talking about?
We're talking about, you know, having friends, right? And holding our friends accountable and just being aware, self-aware, and aware of what's going on in our surroundings. For me, won't say no names, but there's been a couple of situations where I have a close friend who may or may not while out in public. And you know, and I think that sometimes that when we allow our friends to carry the fuck on, they will continue to carry the fuck on. And it takes a real, when I say real friend, not a shady friend, not a messy friend, not a real friend to say, hold on, friend, you doing a lot. You're doing too much, fall back. And I think that it's a fine line of being somebody's friend and letting them know when they're wrong, and there being a balance of, okay, I hear what you're saying, or okay, hold on, what the fuck are you saying? And I think that you need to keep a family and a support system around you that allows you to flourish and allows you to be a better person than you were yesterday, I would say. And again, with my situation, I've had my friend, may not have been on their best you know, their best mood that
They were
day or
lit.
week, or I don't want to say no names, so I'm just, you know, I'm not going to say no names.
Without saying names, you pretty much said a name.
I'm not saying, I had to say one name.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, because the one thing that the MVP show prides ourselves on is being 100% authentic
Okay.
and 100% realistic in regards to what we're talking
You
about.
talking about your ass.
So everyone in this group, all of us are actual real life friends, right? So we're gonna have this friendship conversation. But with that being said, we have another friend in the building, and I feel it only makes sense that he be a part of this segment for this conversation because he's a friend who hangs out with us on a regular basis. You get what I'm saying? So with that, with I mean, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna bring my homeboy EJ up because he hangs out with us and he's part of our friendship. So in order for us to make it make sense, everyone needs to be present and everyone needs to have a genuine conversation. Because that's what we do here. We keep it 100. We keep it 100, right?
Can you see the wave? Hey, how you guys doing?
So this is EJ.
So this is EJ, ladies and gentlemen. This is EJ. He's a recording artist. He's an amazing ass singer.
Absolutely.
He does.
The vocals are there. Mariah, Brandy, if you may.
He's always performing. Please follow him on social media. He performs at a million events. We'll get his Instagram before we close out the show, and you can follow him and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
But going back to what you were talking about,
Yeah.
let's bring up that conversation.
Okay.
Let's have a genuine moment between friends.
Okay.
Right?
So, you know, there's been since we're saying names, there's
Might as well say it.
well, I mean, if they already done brought it up, I might as well just keep it going. So there's been a few instances where my friend Nicholas,
That would be me.
That's
that
it.
would be,
His ass.
Diesel.
yeah, that would be Blue, extra
That would-
medium.
Blue.
I like to call me
Medium.
EM. That would, you know, sometimes, you know, we go out, he get a little liquored up. You know, he gets a little bit more boisterous than he normally is. You You know, because as you have seen over the last 5 years, you know, for the most part, he keeps it mild and meek. But, you know, when we go out, it's just like, bruh, chill out. It's not giving
Hold on,
that.
time out. So, are you ashamed of how he act? Like, what is it? Like,
Before he answers, let me intervene.
Okay.
First of all, when we're talking about friends, and let's talk about being authentic, and let's talk about being authentically friends, but then let's talk about being authentic to ourselves. Okay?
Actually.
Each and every one of us, we're dealing with ourselves. You understand? You understand? Okay, I understand. You understand where I'm coming from. So, we're all individually on a separate journey. We all individually came up in different homes, right?
Right.
Our journeys are different. Our pains are different. Our successes are different, right? Our challenges are different, right? So, with us being authentic, we first have to be authentic with ourselves, and we all recognize what's within us. And it is our responsibility, ours and ours only, to do what we have to do to elevate within ourselves. As your friend that is watching you in your elevation, and hopefully not judgmental because we have our own to aspire to, you understand? So, with that being said, we have to show compassion. Hold each other accountable, but we have to be compassionate because what it is very factual is the things that we see in others that we don't like, you know, how we recognize it, because we also don't like it within ourselves.
That's fair.
Actually.
That's
We
fair.
also don't like it within ourselves. So it's easy for us to see it. It's easy, but we won't fix ours, but we want you to fix yours.
Facts.
I can,
But we all have to be accountable to us first, right? Then we can hold each other.
Actually. I agree with that 100%.
okay, so with that being the okay.
No, I was
So with that being the ground, laying that ground, you know,
I feel like we should clap a little bit. That was like,
that was deep.
that was the whole speech. Like,
That was really,
I'm not gonna lie, you had me lost. Not only did you have me lost in the words, but it was the whole movements
It was
and
a
all
vibe.
of this.
It was a vibe.
You had me there. You took
I'm
me.
just saying, because that's true. I can't hold you accountable without holding myself.
yeah,
Because I am you and you are me.
yeah. And in conjunction with that, you know, for me, you know, knowing somebody for 15 years almost at this point, and me feeling like, you know, I know this person for the most part. And yeah, you have other friends and you build other relationships, but bitch, I know you for your works. So it's just like, if I say something, or if I'm telling you something, or if I intervene, my expectation is for you to look at me and to understand. What is it? Understand. I'm sorry.
Let's be clear. Yes, for the people in the back, we don't understand anything because we're gods and goddesses. We're not under anyone. We're not under anything. We understand from the inside. I understand you.
And I understand what the fuck is going on. So if my friend is acting crazy, or my friend is doing something that makes him not be in the best light, if I want to tell my friend, hey, bruh, chill out, like you doing too much, I think that I should get that same respect. I don't care how much you've been drinking. I think I should get that respect and saying, you know what, this is my friend. This is somebody that has known me for over a decade, that has been, like, I think that that's just normal. That's a natural, you know, aspect of okay, well, this is my friend. This is somebody I know. This is somebody I care about.
So all right. So in those situations, you said one key word. They already been drinking. They've been. And that's. Oh wait, well, hold on. Time. No.
Wait, you ain't got your back yet. Hold on, let him finish.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. You might not want to check me in too fast. So now, because like, I get what you're saying, because like I've been in that situation a few times where now like it's been me, but also I've had to check other friends as well too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes off on how you tell that person and how that actual person is, because some people it's been a simple, damn dog, calm down.
Yeah.
And with some people, we've had to match their litness with our own, like, hey, sit your ass down, calm the fuck down, and that's what they understood a whole lot more than, hey.
But they've done that too.
No. And I'm sorry to cut you off. But with that being said, so I've actually had a conversation with Ricky in regards to these moments, and for lack of a better word, I basically said what you just said. And what I was saying was, when people are drunk, they're not in a sober space. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to me right now soberly and tell me, hey, do A, B, and C, and I get it.
Yeah.
But as a drunk person, someone who's drunk at that moment, they're not understanding that. So as a friend, your job isn't to check me, it's to calm me down in those moments. You get what I'm saying? And there are different ways of calming different people down when they're drunk. You know what I'm saying? So if someone is drunk and they're on 12, and then you come at them challenging them, they're already on 12. Now they feel like they're fighting with you too. So now they're arguing with you versus you minimizing the situation, de-escalating the situation. You get what I'm saying? And my thing is, at the end of the day, if we are friends, we need to know how to handle each other when we are drunk.
Yeah.
So some people, one person can get drunk and you say, shut the fuck up, and he understands what that means, being drunk. Another person, you might have to say, he was right, even though he's 100% wrong, he was right, just calm down. And in that person's drunk head, it's, okay, my friend has my back, now I'm gonna calm down. You get what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question just to make sure I understand. So, I pretty much know my limits of drinking. I know at what drink I'm gonna be fucked up, what drink I'm gonna be tipsy, and what drink I'm gonna be a little bit maybe over and I can't drive home, right? I know that as an adult, I should know that.
Gotcha.
Because I'm the one consuming the drinks, and this is my avatar that I live in, so I should know it, right? Okay. So with that being said, is it my friend's responsibility to handle me at a drunken stupor that I chose to be at? Or is it my responsibility to have one less drink so that I can present myself in a way that's presentable, not to others, but just to me, to where I'm maintaining me? You understand? Is it my friend's responsibility if I take an additional drink knowing that's gonna tip me over? is that my friend's responsibility and is it their accountability or is it mine?
I definitely feel it's the person who's consuming the alcohol. I definitely feel it's their responsibility to handle themselves. However, in a confrontational moment, because that's what we're talking about. So in a confrontational moment, the goal is to de-escalate the confrontation in a whole. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of, in a sense.
Understand, but what I'm asking is, if I know which drink is going to take me over, if I know that, then is that my responsibility to say, well, no, let me not take that drink because if I take it, I'm going to go here, or I take the drink and I leave the accountability to my friends to account for what I'm doing.
Hold on real quick. All right, to that, what I think actually, because when you go out as a group, like if all of us go out, you know what I'm saying, at the end of this, all of us go out, we go downstairs, we have a few drinks or whatever, right? We can all be in our individual minds of, I want to take that off of that. Be in our individual minds of what we need to do or not do so we can be sober. Yeah. But because we've all walked down there together or entered a place where we are together or met up to the fact where we are together, each and every single person here is automatically, without you knowing or not, is going to just take the responsibility of what this person doing. Because if we all know our limits, we know our limits. Like, okay, I'm not a person that might not get fucked up like that, but I know he is. All right? You may just say you're not, and I'm for the
Wrong person.
So me and you are not going to get toasted. They're going to get fucked up, all right? So because we know that, me and him might be on the sense where, okay, hey, you see Ricky? You know what I'm saying? Even to the point, you might not be lit yet. You might not have gotten to your point.
Okay.
But because of the fact that we all came together and we're all responsible for each other, whether we know it or not, we enter a place with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like when someone goes home or whatever the case may be, somebody's gonna get a text, hey, I made it home or whatever. If something was to happen, hey, I forgot my wallet or I forgot my keys, somebody here is gonna know before anybody else, Instagram, anybody else. So when that happens, I think it's just human nature. Yeah. Just human nature for whoever is the protector or the nurturer or whoever is out of that group. They're gonna be the one. And when you have that comfortability, you really tend to kind of loosen up a little bit. So
maybe you might take advantage of it?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say take advantage of it. I wouldn't say take advantage of it because you can sit there and say, okay, well, I might have one more drink than what you probably will be. That's not taking advantage of something because even if you was by yourself, you might take one more drink. I'm just saying, some people may take one more drink than what they should. You know what I'm saying? And it might be a little bit more cautious about doing it. But when you're with your friends, that you're a little bit more cautious about doing something. Yeah, I can take one more drink because if I overdo it, I know they're gonna stop me and look out for me.
I understand.
For me, I have to piggyback off of Nick's. What he said was very important about understanding your friend. For me, it's like I know personally, if my friend is going off about something, yeah, he may be over the top, he may be loud, but there is always a root of what happened. So the first thing I care about is like what happened, you know. And I know that if you come across to him and you're yelling at him too, he's gonna yell at you back because he's already in the state of I gotta protect myself. You know what I mean? But like I said, that comes with time of understanding each other. So when Ricky's drunk, we may not have that same thing. You know, he has his own way where you can talk to him different. But when Nick is drunk, I know like
I go to sleep when I'm drunk. Yeah. So you ain't gotta worry about me.
But you get what I'm saying? Each one of us is different. So it's like I know like there's a root cause of what is going on that is causing this thing to blow up. So for me, I know that I can't approach him the same way I can approach Ricky. I know at that moment I'm like, okay, what did somebody do or what happened that caused it here? And then from there we can take it from there.
I understand.
Because I feel like just showing like, yo, I'm here for you, what's going on, it changes the tone, and that's
Because
why
it
like
shows a level of comfortability.
Yeah.
So now I no longer feel, well, not me, now
But
the
some-
person no longer feels like they're fighting whatever the issue was, as well as my friend.
Unless they're just a violent
But
drunk.
sometimes, no, he's not. But I think there's sometimes, because there's been
He's
times
not.
that I know Nick has been upset,
Yeah.
yes, and I go over there and call myself a baby, but sweetie, we're not, and he'll still be upset. But I know that once you're already on 10, you're not just gonna come from 10. There are levels
It's
to that
baby
shit.
steps. It's baby
Because
steps.
it's levels that got you up there, so it's levels, because I know how my ego can get. It's levels to that shit to come down. So I do understand that. I just want us as friends to be accountable for our actions.
And hold each other accountable.
Hold each other accountable and not just assume that because we're friends that I can just do what the fuck I want to do and hold you guys accountable for my actions.
But now, when we say hold each other accountable, what do you consider to be accountable?
Well, this is what I consider. So let's say like if I get drunk and get out of hand with you guys, and I'm just gonna assume that y'all are okay with it. But perhaps you're not okay with it. And perhaps, it puts you in positions that maybe you don't want to be in. And so that's not fair to you. So then I have to be accountable with how much I drink so that I'm not putting you in positions that you don't want to be in. Because it's not fair for you to be in a position that you don't want to be in, right? So my accountability is to not do it.
Yeah.
Your accountability to me is to let me know when I'm doing it and you're feeling uncomfortable. And then it's my accountability to change.
Now, can I sidebar on that?
That's fair.
So, I respect everything you're saying, but I do feel that that's what separates an associate in the club, a stranger in the club, and a friend in the club. Because at the end of the day, if you're my friend in the club, I don't give a damn if I'm jumping up the fucking chandeliers.
Right.
Your job as my friend, because that's what we are. We are friends. Your job as my friend is to get me up that chandelier. An associate's gonna say, "Oh, you're embarrassing me." A stranger's gonna talk about me, but my friend,
We're gonna support
my
you.
friend is going to get me up that chandelier by whatever means is necessary.
Well, Nick, I ain't gonna
Hold on,
lie.
hold on.
I'm
Let
your
me
friend.
wait. Hold on. Let me.
But we
wait,
all
let me-
want to do that for
But
him,
wait, let me-
because we
but
love
wait,
him,
let
but
me-
we're still gonna hold him accountable.
I'm gonna talk
but
about
I'm-
you while I do it.
but
Get
wait,
your monkey
but-
ass off that chandelier.
But I'm not, no, because what I think that people are missing, is everyone relates to drinking and how they react differently. You get what I'm saying? You might have one friend who gets drunk, jumps in the car, crashes the car, wrecks his car 2-3 times, but for y'all, because it wasn't embarrassing to y'all, it's passable, excusable. No, it's not. Because at the end of the day, if you cared the same way you cared about the person who was arguing with a random, you would have not let this man drive his car home and wreck it and flip over 15 fucking streets. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing
Where's
is...
that finger pointing?
No, I mean, we're going to...
It's a lot of this. I'm confused at a lot of this. It's a lot of this.
No.
It's a lot of this.
Wait.
Because I can pull up a police report right
Hey,
now.
hold on.
What I'm
Say
saying...
what you gotta say, and we're
I
gonna
can
switch
pull
the
up a
subject.
police report.
Say what you gotta say, and we're gonna switch the
What I'm
subject
saying
after
is,
this.
at the end of the day, people handle liquor differently. Some people get drunk and get aggressive. Some people get drunk and become extremely joyful. Some people get drunk and cry all night. You get what I'm saying? I have a friend who, when he gets drunk, he has 2 modes. Well, 3. He actually does all 3. He can either be
not going out
very
that
violent, very depressed, crying and carrying on, and still you go. And for me, I take the time to learn my friends. So when I see that he's on 100, I address him on 100. But I'm not confrontational. I tell him, you right, he was wrong. Please excuse my friend.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you that, but I'm gonna calm him down. You're right. He shouldn't have put his drink on the table and whatever. Even though you drank his drink, he should have put his drink. You're right. But I calmed him down so he no longer feels like he's being attacked by everybody. If he's in a depressed mode where he's crying and carrying on, whatever he's crying about, my job, you still gonna have that job in the morning, baby. You're gonna be okay. As my friend, that's my job. And if I'm not willing to do that, then maybe we are not as close of friends as need be, or maybe we need to change it from friends to Cool.
Or maybe y'all are as close as you need to be, and you just have to have an honest conversation.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you
Alright,
one. Let me
wait,
ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you one. Let me.
We gotta fix
Wait,
something
hold on.
now.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna ask you one more question. You have a child, right? You have a child, right? Your child does something stupid. Good, bad, in between. Your child does something stupid. She goes to jail. You're gonna get her out
Oh, immediately.
because you love her,
Immediately.
right? She can be 199% wrong. As your child, you're going to get her out. Me, I'm gonna say, yeah, she shouldn't have been doing that. That's the difference.
Yeah.
When you love, when you care about somebody, you go above and beyond for that person. I'm not saying that what your child did is right, but your job as the mother of someone you love, you get them out of the fucked up situation they got themselves into in that moment. And you cannot allow that moment to characterize who that child is. If for example, if your child, I'm being random as fuck, I can't even think of this. Your child does something stupid and she goes to jail, is it okay to classify her as she's a bad person, she's a this, she's a, no, baby.
She's learning.
Thank you. But at the end of the day, because you love your child, because you care about your child, it doesn't matter what your child does. Your job as someone who loves your child is to get them out of the fucked up situation they got themselves into. As friends, we need to take that accountability. That part. Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than oh, so-and-so got into a random ass argument. But what about the other friend who fucking was crying all over the street? Like, so that's okay because they were crying.
Alright.
This person raped their car. That's okay because they were by themselves, no one's seen. You know what I'm saying? That's not okay.
Alright. We gotta move on. We gotta move on at this point.
We don't have enough time to dissect this.
Learn your
A later
friends.
date, we can really dissect
Learn your
this.
friends and learn how they drink and how to approach their asses.
But real
Alright?
quick,
But no, ain't no real quick.
But
Just
it's
real
still
quick. It's like
accountability.
2 minutes.
No, real quick. Big shout out to the Six Lounge in the West End, because I said West Midtown last time.
Right.
Big shout out to the Six Lounge West End for supporting us and sponsoring us for tonight.
Also, hey, look, shout out to our hookah man too. Come out here, man, one more time, brother. Oh
We're
man.
going swiftly and professionally. What else we got going on?
So look, we gonna move on because actually, you know, I can hear it right now. On a lighter note, shout out to Lil Baby, man. He just dropped that album and he's the first artist to ever have the top 20, top 23 songs on the top 100. And when I say top 23, I ain't talking about like one and then you skip something else and he on there. No, from 1 to 23.
Come on now.
I'm about to
It's
look
all
at
his shit.
You see
I'm gonna have to pull
You know what I'm saying?
I need to pull them receipts.
Like
You
that
have a
has
receipt?
never.
Can we put a receipt in this?
Talk
Pull
about
up a video.
guess what?
iTunes.
But here's
Pull up iTunes.
but here's the thing. That has never happened from any artist ever. So you know what I'm saying? Like I say this. Shout out to Lil Baby, and what you doing right now is just it's unprecedented. It's never been done before. And if you haven't heard that album, you missing out on some shit, bro. Because as a person who heard the album, I don't know, you heard it before? You heard it?
Haven't yet.
All right, so I can tell you right now, when you hear that album, it is really a non-skip album. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard it several times. I heard it on skip. I heard it on shuffle. And all of them hitting, bro. All of them hitting. So shout out to Lil Baby, man.
And
and
shout out
what
to
he
Lil
doing.
Baby's biggest fan.
Not Lil Baby's biggest fan, but
That's
you know
what it's giving me. Not the biggest
But you know what? If I was Lil Baby's biggest fan, it'd be justifiable because right now the album is hot. It's hot as shit. So if that was the case, my artist got the best fucking album out right fucking now, and he got
That's
the
your
top
rapper?
123.
What else going on, bro? What else going on?
First of all, wait, hold on.
That's your rapper?
Hold on. We just gave you a whole intervention, all right? We not gonna sit there and then,
But
but for real.
You
All
gotta
right,
talk about his work ethic because you gotta look like a lot of those local radio stations. just giving back to community.
Exactly.
I mean, he's done a lot of things in the last few months
He
that
stayed
kind
out
of
of
laid that groundwork.
He's staying out of trouble.
Absolutely.
Out of trouble. So
And it's paying off, you know what I mean?
what
So
I'm
you really
saying?
got to look at that actual legwork that he's doing behind the scenes.
exactly. So it takes a lot to actually do that. Like you're saying, like you've had to, like I said, the groundwork, legwork, interviews.
He gives back to the
being
community.
in the public, like in the whole public and everything else. Like to do all of that and to hit this, come on, man. And then at the end of the day, you ain't in no fucking trouble. Come on, man.
Okay, well, you
That's
know
what
what?
I'm
While we're
was
talking
thinking-
about the community and giving back to the black
First
community,
of all, now she don't even fuck with black people. Alright? She don't even fuck with black people.
I would like to just insert here Candace Owens.
Don't fuck with black people.
You know, I feel like she's doing a.
She gave what Stacey Dash her black card after the shit she just said.
What did she say? What
Alright,
exactly
so
did she
look.
say?
Alright, so it's on Instagram, it's on everything, you know what I'm saying? You can check it out. But she's sitting there saying that she wishes that she was not a part of the black race.
Really?
I need to
saying,
see a
like-
receipt of that too.
She said
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like hell. It's on my
pull it
page.
up.
It's
Yeah, we got to
on-
pull the
like,
receipt.
You can pull it up. She actually says the words. At times, I feel like I'm not a part of the black community, and it's so fucked up.
Wait, before you
I feel like
cut
that sometimes
out,
too.
wait, before you cut out that quote, what was the content of what she was talking about?
It really don't matter what the content of it was. She's black. How the fuck do you feel bad about being a black? All right, so it really the content don't even matter. It don't even matter because the other part is this, and I didn't know this until I guess the person who posted the video chimed in on this one. But you got your bag, $37,000 from a lawsuit, and guess who helped? And because white people were making fun of you in high school. Rich white kids were making fun of you in high school. Guess who helped you get the bag? The NAACP.
Really?
Black people helped you get the bag, bitch.
that you had.
My bad.
No,
But I mean, I feel like, okay, so this,
My bad. I didn't mean to
this
call
could
her
be a
that.
bigger conversation. Because, I mean, and then what Nick is saying is, yeah, we kind of do have to know the context because, I mean, maybe what was the full picture of
Yeah,
why
like,
did
what
she
was
say
she
what she
saying?
said? And what is the real underlying conversation that we really need to talk about as a community that makes us hate ourselves?
You know why I'm gonna buy that? You know why I'm not gonna buy that? No, I'm not gonna buy that.
What's up?
Because we gave Kanye a lot of shit because of the White Lives Matter shirt, right?
Yeah.
Didn't nobody give a fuck about the context. We just knew that he did this shit. It was Fashion Week and everything else, and we didn't like the statement. All right. For a few years back, Kanye George Bush don't like black people. We stood behind that shit too. So sometimes,
I remember that.
No. So sometimes, content it is what it is.
Yeah.
When there's like when it's like a different meaning, you can cipher what you meant by this or what you meant by this, or it's an underground, it's an underlining whatever. But as a black person, right? As a black person, with what we going through right now, and you can fix your lips to say that.
Well, what are we going through?
Didn't Donald Trump call out Kanye? He was like, he's
What are
doing
we going through? No.
It ain't that his friend.
But see, now this is what the underlying
what are we going
conversation
through?
we talking about.
But you know we
Because when
That we're not
Kanye
doing
said-
to ourselves.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Wait a motherfucker.
All right. We'll shoot each other up, but we want to talk about what we're going through. Yeah, but we'll shoot each other up and kill each other.
But we don't, well, Ricky, we don't want to get too deep because it
Okay.
can go real deep.
That's what I said.
It can. It definitely can. What are we going through? What are we doing to each other? What are we doing to each other? Is it not a fact?
Right now, we
sound
are
like
living.
this right
Hold
now.
on, we are living in the Matrix, my dude. We are living. You understand? And so there are a lot of things that are set up for us purposely to dumb us down. Just like rappers, all these rappers don't want to sing about bitches, hoes, and killing each other. They're told they have to do that in order to get that check. Let's keep it a buck, but we're not even gonna go there because I get way too deep. I get way too deep.
Actually, they don't have to do that to get a check. They just choose to do that because J. Cole doesn't do that. Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar done changed his music around and everything else. So you're choosing to do that to take the easy way out. So when it comes to rappers now, I don't necessarily buy that to an extent because because you gotta do for your career. But if you are good at what you do and well respected at what you can do,
But let me ask you a
But you
question.
don't have to sell out.
But let me ask you a question. Do you feel Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole would have been further in their career if they took the route that she was talking about?
Further, I don't think there's a further. I mean, I think they're renowned rap artists. I think that people acknowledge them as the greats.
There's definitely-
Yeah, I don't think there's more
they
they can
It would have
do.
been further if they
Well,
were to
I don't
entertain
know
the
if
other-
they would have been further, but there is definitely further. Let's not just pretend that where they are is, oh, I have a right. Yes, it's a lot further.
I think if
Actually,
you ask people
no.
who are your top 5, 10 rappers, they're in those names.
they are in the lines of GOATs. It's just a funny.
Yeah.
It's like
I
okay,
think
as a
that's
person,
true.
So let me-
as a person of J. Cole status, like
Absolutely.
who he came out mainstream.
Absolutely.
But I think maybe out of 1 or 2 songs, not even the whole album.
Shout out to Let Nas
Chase
down.
Something else
I think
around.
when you're at the Jay-Z level,
that. So
you've arrived.
because my
Jay-Z
my-
level is a whole different
wait, but
level
my
than what we're
question-
talking
my
about
question
rappers.
was-
Jay-Z
but my-
level is a whole
But
entrepreneurship
he's a-
and everything
right,
else.
but
We're
he's
talking
still a
about
rapper.
rappers.
But my question,
Just rappers
My
at
question,
this moment.
my question would be: J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West go to Bizarre magazines, launch party, exclusive, whatever. Who's going? In your opinion, who do you
Kanye.
think who's going to?
You know
who's
Kanye
gonna
gonna
in
get that.
first?
Kanye gonna get
Who's
that.
going to get in first?
I honestly think that they all get in.
Who's going to get in first? The question was
Who arrived first?
Whoever got there first.
At this point, who came at 9? Who came at 9:07?
All three of them at the door at the same
They're
time.
at, all of them
Who
are
they
walking
gonna-
in
Who
together.
gonna let in? Who they gonna let
At this
I
point,
feel
I think
like
Kanye will probably be last.
in? Kanye
With
West.
Kanye, his track record at this point, I don't think he would get in at all.
Kanye West is going to get into any door he wants to walk into.
So will J. Cole and
I
Kendrick
think
Lamar.
y'all are
I feel
really underestimating J. Cole and Kendrick. They're definitely underestimating them.
Just
You go to LA, California.
Kanye
This is
has
not
been in
Atlanta.
the
Atlanta's not everywhere in the
tabloids.
world.
Like, okay, you know what's funny? Okay,
He's in the tabloids, but his name
so
his name is relevant. His name still holds weight. I'm not saying I agree
No.
to it, but his name is relevant.
No,
his name still holds
I'm
weight.
actually about to ask you a
and
question.
his name can allow him to walk into any
So,
establishment that
because
he
you know
wants to be
why? Because you know why? Because we just named 3 artists, right? Kanye will get in because of his shenanigans and everything else
And that's-
before his
that was the
music.
whole- but that's the whole-
No. Listen to me. Listen to me.
But you
Listen
just
to
said
me.
if they would get
But that's the
further,
whole
if they did
conversation.
shenanigans, they should do
That-
shenanigans to get
So
further.
shenanigans?
But that was what
Yeah,
we
we-
asked. That was the question.
Here's
we
my-
asked.
But we just said you don't have to sell out.
And you don't have to do
So
shenanigans
guess
to get
what?
further.
So technically, Kanye, you will be considered a sellout compared to J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
I have to get with Cali on
But
this
see,
one.
I mean, you gotta look at the fact of just entertainment
That
as
was
a
the whole
whole.
question. That was the whole question.
Entertainment as a whole. Look at
No,
the
so
fact of
Kanye wouldn't get in.
you watch a television show right now. Let's go to the TV instead. You're not trying to watch nobody on there just having a good day on the episode. Everything is just, and you know what? Today we went to the market.
Right.
And then our family's sitting there together.
Right.
So we want to see the shit. I mean,
Right.
that's just the real
So what
shit.
you're saying
It's the
that's
culture.
That's the J. Cole and that's the and
You
that's
become
the
part of the
Kendrick Lamar.
circus.
The nice day, stay
get
at
clown
home.
shit.
The shenanigans is
When
the
you become part of the
Kanye,
circus,
right?
you do
I hate to
clown
say it.
shit.
But
I
nobody
hate to say it,
So when that happens, right?
Yeah.
So when that happens, when that happens, and they want to categorize us,
That.
right?
That.
When you're choosing to put Kanye in the part where this is what
I don't even know what
artists
you're
are
saying.
supposed
Oh,
to be,
yeah.
and what
Exactly.
artists are really doing compared to this part right here, where artists are really speaking out truth, speaking like putting out some real shit instead of just bullshit, white lives matter shit, to just like stir up shit.
Question. Season premiere of The Cosby Show
Oh, don't bring.
or Real Housewives of Potomac.
He's
Which
so
one you want?
stupid.
Which
Which
one
one
you
you
watching?
He's so stupid.
Which one are you watching?
I'm not.
Season premiere of The Cosby Show.
Now, why did he mention Cosby? Well, I'm not watching a rapist on TV, so that's never going
Well, I
to
forgot for
happen.
you, that's different. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's going to be
just say
Potomac.
why you
on,
bring that
okay,
shit
okay,
up?
hold on.
Let's trust
Hold
him.
on.
I think he just proved our point.
Season premiere of Family Matters or Real Housewives of Potomac. Which one you
Family
watching?
Matters.
Right.
Which one you
you
watching?
I'm asleep already
Which
thinking
one?
about it.
Family Matters or Real Housewives of Potomac?
Potomac, shout out to Candace.
Okay.
Exactly.
You
You
just
just
wanted
to
to
Candace.
you didn't ask all of us.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You didn't ask all of us.
cleared our court.
Okay.
But you asked him.
It's the drama.
You didn't ask me.
That's exactly the point. The bottom line is
That's not the point. You
at the
asked
end
one
of the
person
day-
on this person.
No, because at the end of the day, the reality is sadly, people love drama.
Yeah.
If a reality show ain't got enough drama,
One person.
But you asked for a sitcom. That was a
I'm gonna watch
sitcom. That's a
Family Matters.
reality show.
I'm gonna watch Family Matters.
That's a sitcom and that's a reality show. They're two different genres. They're two
Exactly.
different playing fields.
Why-
You talking
why-
about
why-
football
hold
and
on, hold on.
baseball.
I'm
They're
watching
two
Family
different- I mean,
Matters.
it's sports. It's entertainment, but they're
I
two
don't
different
even watch
things.
reality shows.
hold on.
Who's your favorite team?
Hold on,
The
hold on.
Braves or the Hawks?
That's my reality TV show. Right there. It's sports.
They're two different things, but okay.
Okay, so the reality of the conversation is reality TV became popular because of the drama.
Yes.
Period.
Point.
Reality TV took over regular TV because of the drama. Because y'all like to watch the drama. Y'all
Don't
like
say
to
y'all.
watch people fight,
Y'all.
argue, kill it. You not watching. You not. What's the last TV show you watched?
I actually have been watching this show on Netflix called The Midnight Club, and it's about a group home of cancer patients who all come together. It's like young kids, 18, 19, 20, who have been, they're telling like these stories. They meet up at midnight in this home that they're in, and they tell these stories about monsters. But that's besides the point. But that's what I've been
Abbott
watching.
Elementary.
Abbott Elementary, thank you!
Drama.
Thank you!
So question.
I love Abbott
It's not
Elementary.
about drama all the time.
In your
It's
DVR, what shows are you recording on your DVR?
In my DVR, I'm recording 911, which I love. Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Crime, Organized Crime. What else am I recording? Inmate to Roommate, 90 Day Fiance, Housewives. But I have a plethora. It's not just one thing.
Drama. You're watching
Straight
drama.
I like it all.
First of all,
Give it all to me. I want it all.
the drama that he was referring to before he said Housewives is all scripted.
Yeah.
It's plays.
No, not
It's-
not 90 Day Fiance.
No, but mostly what I do watch sitcoms. I do watch
Like what?
scripted shows. I just
Like
named
what?
that, babes.
What? Because you
You
said
didn't
90
hear?
Day, 90,
Babes, I just said-
90 Day Fiance or what?
I said Law and Order Crime Organized
at some
Crime,
point feel like it's like an
SVU,
attack
Abbott
on these.
Elementary. What else I just said? I said so many shows
I feel
before
like these two are
that.
going back and
Reality
forth at this
shows.
moment.
None of them are
like
Yeah, you named some reality.
I did, but I added that
he
in to
purposely-
show.
and he purposely named two shows just
Two
to
shows.
try to
It was
prove his
3,
point.
babes, and I named it because I wanted people
Just to
to
try to prove his
understand you can have a plethora of shows that you like, and entertainment you like. My entertainment is not just conformed to, I gotta watch comedy, I gotta watch horror. I just saw Halloween the other weekend, and last weekend I loved it. It's not just conformed to one thing. I like all elements of entertainment. It's
Now-
entertainment.
Now EJ,
Yeah.
you're a part of all our group chats and everything in between.
Child.
What does he watch?
Housewives.
Because I don't talk to y'all about Abbott Elementary. I don't talk to you about the shows I watch on Netflix. Did y'all watch
Why?
The Watcher on Netflix? That I watched The Watcher. That was based on New Jersey about a nigga. That, there are things that you can't watch. I don't talk to y'all about it.
So my question is, why not promote the positive shows that you watch? And
He just tried to, but you. He
Don't
just
shut it
tried
down.
to.
I
I
said,
mean,
why
But you
why not
highlighted.
why not?
He just
I mean,
tried to
okay.
let the show
Why
didn't
not?
watch it, but you highlighted Housewives though.
why not you promote them in our group chat? Do you promote anything
That's
positive?
personal.
We can talk about this all day.
Because that's what he watches.
I watch this. I watch
That's what he
everything.
does.
nigga.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. At
It's
this
a
moment,
plethora.
I think at this moment it's time that we end the
let's
show.
take
No, we're not ending the show. We're going to our guests.
We're going to take an intermission. We're
have
going
a
to
guest?
refill these shots. Yes, we got Big Sexy coming up next.
Oh shit, I forgot. We do got
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
All right, we done.
Yo, welcome back to the MVP show. And you know, like always, we got a guest. And today's special guest is my Big Sexy, man. What's happening?
How y'all doing? Y'all having a good day?
We are.
That's phenomenal. I'm so blessed. Like, I love this type of weather. This is my type of weather. This type of weather puts me in a good mood. So I'm feeling good. I love the cold. Can't wait to put on my furs and my minks and my bombers.
So you got
So you got a jacket fetish? I fuck with you. I got a jacket fetish too.
Well, first off, welcome to the MVP show. Welcome. It was a pleasure for you to show up and be here and turn up with us, right?
Absolutely.
So for those who don't know, way back, we used to see a meme that used to be on like Instagram. And what they say?
What the hood niggas at?
Who remembers that? Did y'all know that was him?
No, I didn't.
That was Big Sexy.
And it's so crazy because I went to a restaurant one time, just going to eat, and the girls went crazy when I had walked in. And the cook came from the back and was like, who that? He was trying to see who I was. So they ended up informing him of who I was. He told me, man, y'all lie. He was like, y'all lie, that is not him. That don't look that like him. So a lot of people don't know, but then a lot of people do know.
Got you.
What a
So,
hood
so
nigga said.
talk to me. Tell me, how has the Instagram fame changed your life? Because I mean, like literally, just overnight, you just became this phenomenon.
This is the thing. A lot of times people think it's been overnight because of the things that I have going on now, but it ain't really been overnight. I've really been doing this for a long time. When I really think about it, I haven't even really embarked on everything that I want to embark on. Still to this day. So that just goes to show you gotta consistently keep putting in work, grinding, doing things that you don't want to do, going to bookings that you don't want to do. A lot of times I have to show up. A lot of times I don't be feeling like it. I don't want to lay in my bed. But there's so much groundwork and there's so much footwork that you have to put in. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it happened overnight, but what I will say is the journey of where I'm at right now is amazing.
Yes.
So many free things, so many free clothes, so many free restaurants. So I'm really loving it. And then to top it off, to be able to change people's life. When people really come up to me and say, I love you, you inspire me, that makes my day. It makes my world go around. I love it. So I'm really, really thankful that I'm able to really be who I am and get paid to do it.
That's bad.
So, have you inspired always to be like a comedian, or is that just a natural? That's you. I'm just naturally coming in the room and making bitches laugh.
I don't know why people say that I'm like, it's a thin line between me being a comedian.
Yeah.
Because I really don't aspire to be a comedian. I really like the videos that I post. Of course, a lot of them are exaggerated, but those things really do happen during the day. Me and my friends, we laugh and we falling out. Like that video of me and my friend falling out when we was eating at the table. Those things really happen in real life.
Can I say one thing about that? And I don't know, I can't talk for you, but if I was you, I would say that one of the career-changing moments was Steve Harvey shouting you out in regards to that. Like Steve Harvey acknowledging you, like, no, right? Like, tell them a little bit about that.
Gag me.
Like
And
Steve
even when I
Harvey.
still think about it, it's amazing because a lot of times when you want to be a content creator, when you want to create videos, because this is the thing, so many people want to get paid for being themselves. When you think about it in actuality, nobody really want to work. You have to, because it's the only way you're able to eat and pay your bills and live and do things that you like. But so many people want to be able to wake up in the morning and get paid for being themselves. So for me to be able to be paid and shouted out by people who I done looked up to, watched growing up, it gagged me. Because that video, of course we know that people was going to see it, but the next day, a lot of times when it comes out of viral videos, even where the hood niggas at, I've been shot at. In 2016. And then when we went into the pandemic, then it just resurfaced. So for that video to have went viral literally like 2 days later, it had gagged me and we was like, wow, that just go to show you so many people can relate to that. So many friend groups laugh just like that. A lot of times I'll be telling my friends like, when I walk into a room and they may be some little boys and they looking at me because they don't understand why this big man got a pocketbook and they look at me and they bust out laughing. When I tell y'all, it never offends me. Because I get it, because that's really how you be with your friends. Y'all be kicking. I get it, I promise you. As long as nobody don't say that disrespectful to me, I get it because I'm the same way. When I'm with my friends, we key, we laugh. Look at this. So I understand. But it's just, I love it to be able to be myself and be paid.
Okay. Has there been a celebrity that you've come across that gagged you? Literally gagged you. Like, oh.
Outside of Steve Harvey, top Cardi B. So I know that one day Cardi B was on live. So because I'm in love with Cardi B, I had commented on her post. That day she didn't respond to me, but I see all her fan pages responded to me. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So somebody just said, oh, look at her following me. So I clicked on her following, and it said she was following me. So it had gagged me, right? So then recently, probably like a month ago, she was on live. She was talking about Instagram. So I commented on like, oh girl, you looking so fat, da 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 da. She scrolled up in her comments, and then she said my name, and I'm like, oh, I'm gagging. And it's just so crazy because that just goes to show me that you have to literally be consistent with what it is that you do. A lot of times when we start things on Monday, we get discouraged because by Thursday, it hasn't blown up the way that we want it to blow up. Or we start a business on Tuesday, and then by Saturday, it's not a multi-million-dollar business. So now we're discouraged. We don't want to continue it. We start a podcast. We're not getting 1 million views within 3 months. So it's like, ooh, you're discouraged, but you literally have to stay consistent with what it is that you're doing because one day you're going to get the recognition that you want.
Yeah. So what's something like?
Okay, so Big Sexy, as I listen to you, you know, I think that people find you very inspiring. I find you very inspiring.
Thank you.
But as I listen to you, it also sounds like you're equally as inspired by your own success. It's like you are very inspired by what you have accomplished, and that's very inspiring. That's
Thank
very
you.
inspiring.
Thank you.
What would you say to people that whatever it is they're trying to accomplish, and it may not be an Instagram celebrity, and it may not be a celebrity at all. It could just be, you know, trying to get a job somewhere or to go to school or just to do whatever they can do to level up. And as you said, people do get discouraged, and I know you got discouraged along the way at some point. So what advice would you give to people as we are aspiring and attempting or moving towards leveling up when we get discouraged?
And I have got discouraged, I still do.
Yes.
And it may be in different areas because, for example, for me, there are people don't even understand, even my friends, because a lot of things I don't share with them. Because I respond to a lot of my emails, and so many opportunities that people reach out and give me that do not fit my brand.
Yes.
And those opportunities I have been getting a lot of times. So it be times, even with me still to this day, I'm like, why are they reaching out for me to do that? Why are they reaching out for me to do that? I want to be on the red carpet doing behind the scenes. I want to be hosting this type of event. I want to be hosting this type of event. And they're giving me an opportunity to live in a house with a whole bunch of males and fight. That's not my brand. Is that the only way that people see me? Am I too aggressive? So I still have those thoughts too. But you have to consistently every day know that you have to keep putting in the work. And it's kind of to piggyback off of what I'm saying, you have to do things a lot of times that you don't want to do. And a lot of times, so many social media influencers, especially in Atlanta, they look at me and they say, how are you able to get booked like that? Like, what am I not doing right? But a lot of times, we get ahead of ourselves. So when you have these people reaching out and they want to give you this type of budget, or they want you to come onto this podcast, a lot of times you feel like you're more than what you are, and you haven't really laid the foundation of the groundwork that you're supposed to do. So I think even beyond being a social media influencer or being somebody that wants to be famous, working a regular job, you have to consistently put in that groundwork. Yeah. If you want to be the manager of Popeyes or you want to be the GM of Subway, you have to consistently put in that groundwork and wake up in the morning when you don't feel like it and go and make those sandwiches when you do not feel like it. You have to put in the groundwork. And I tell social media influencers all the time, because so many people in Atlanta reach out to me and it's like, how are you getting 100,000 views in a week? What is it that you're doing? You have to put in that groundwork. You have to be consistent. You have to change it up. You have to keep doing what you're doing until you get to where you're going. A lot of times, and it's like an Atlanta curse, you think that you arrived and you haven't.
Nice.
There are so many. And I find myself getting arrogant in any type of way, even in my mind.
Yes.
I have to continuously humble myself. You still haven't arrived.
Yes.
I know that you've come a long way. I know that a lot of people are recognizing you now and you getting more deals and stuff, but you still haven't arrived. And I think that's like an Atlanta curse where a lot of these girls here in Atlanta think that they have arrived and they have not arrived. And then you sit next to somebody who really arrived and they're the most humble person in the room. And then you sit next to somebody who ain't got shit.
And they're the
And
loudest
you're like,
motherfucker in
so
there.
arrogant.
Yes.
So it's like you have to consistently stay humble and put in the groundwork. For sure.
So, all right, so about 5 years from now, right? 5 years from now, you come back to this show. What, like, imprint are you looking to leave? Like, what are you doing 5 years from now? How about that?
5 years from now, God spare my soul in Jesus' name, you know, because I don't like to take no day for granted because you just never know.
Thanks.
But I really want to host different things on major networks. That's like one of my key goals. I also want to open up a restaurant. I had someone come to me during the pandemic, and she offered to be a business partner with me. But what she wanted me to put up for the business, I had it, but I didn't have it to just give. Because I always wanted a restaurant. I didn't have it to just, I couldn't have gave her the money for sure. But then if they needed anything extra, I wasn't going to be able to afford that because I still got to live too. Yeah. So those are literally my two dreams, is to host different things on major networks and then to also have a restaurant here in Atlanta because I know it would do so good. I have so many people all over the world that would love to come and support. So that's really my goal. It's about staying in my own lane. Because I think a lot of times too, when it comes down to social media, when it comes down to business, a lot of times as people, we find ourselves wanting to do what other people are doing because we see that it's successful for them and we don't really have a passion for it. Like I've heard so many people tell me, you should start rapping just because I do have the fan base. Right. But I'm not a rapper. They have Saucy Santana, they have Lil Nas. I'm not a rapper, I'm designed to be a rapper. I gotta stay in the lane of what it is that I am doing. And that's what makes me different from everybody else.
So you posted red carpets before, right? So you had an interview with celebrities. So if you could pick any celebrity, past, present, dead or alive, to interview on a red carpet, who would it be?
Cardi B.
Don't thought about it.
Dead or alive? Say it aloud.
Dead
or alive?
He heard me, but I'll say it again for you. Past or present, dead or alive.
He said,
never mind.
Let's try this one more again.
In other words,
Y'all trying
anybody other than Cardi B.
Y'all trying to brainwash him?
No, we're not. Cardi B. Wait, hold on. Time out. Cardi B, he loves the shit out of you.
So you can't change his mind. That's what
We're
he's
not changing his mind.
So you gonna keep
but
pressuring him
Cardi
dead
B.
or alive? He said Cardi B.
When I tell you, I'm telling y'all, remember this day.
Cardi B
Before I leave this earth, me and Cardi B is gonna do something together.
Period.
Remember what I'm telling y'all? I love Cardi.
Alright, so you interview Cardi B. She done walked off. Who's next?
You see, he wanted to drink somebody else.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my 3 favorite celebrities.
That part.
You could, yeah.
So my 3 favorite celebrities is as crazy as this mix-up sound, and y'all probably gonna think I'm lying.
Not really.
But my 3 favorite celebrities is Cardi B,
We know
Saucy
that.
Santana, and Viola Davis. I love Viola
I'm here for that. And I see you actually worked with Saucy Santana a couple of times. Like I seen that.
Love it.
I seen that.
For Pride, well, I had initially did the walk video, right?
Yes,
I did
you did.
To the walk video. Hadn't seen him. Of course, we be out. We be out.
Yeah.
The club. So I seen him in passing. We show love, but me and him are not like friends. If anything, we more like industry cool.
Okay.
So I would always see him out. Then Pride came and he was performing for Pride. They had called me. Now, I got there kind of late. He had left the stage. They called me. They wanted me to do my little fizzle. Then he walked out on stage with me, gave me a hug, and I could have fainted. And a lot of people probably feel like, Saucy's not even where he could be at yet. But it's just like the impact of what he's doing right now is gagging me. Because I would have never in a million years thought that we would have a full, even though we have had other flamboyant men in the industry out there that are present, but never to this magnitude.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. I have never seen the BET Hip Hop Awards, and they say best new rap artist, and they are nominating a flamboyant gay black man with a beard and nails. It's so inspiring to me. I love it. I live for it. It just does something to my soul because even though I'm not a rapper, it just makes me feel like he's representing for me. Like the men rappers, they can sit there and lie, but they know who Saucy Santana is. If they ain't never seen him, they heard of him, and then that's why I'm gonna even retract that they've seen him before. That's how present he is. For him to be at the BET Awards, the MTV Music Awards, that's fab. I love it. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite celebrities, and I love Viola Davis. Love her work. Beautiful black woman. So yeah, Cardi B is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Love me some Cardi.
Now, real quick, backtracking off of Saucy Santana, I want to give a big shout out to him because, like you said, outside mixing and mingling, you see people in the. But when I personally was like, okay, he's made it. When I saw him performing with Madonna, like how legendary is that? How many people can say they performed with Madonna? Madonna, like iconic Madonna has a whole song with Madonna.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Material
legendary.
girl.
It's important.
That's legendary. Madonna
When it comes
song together and perform together. That's legendary.
When it comes down to the LGBTQ community, I think a lot of times when we see other people's success, it makes us a hater. When you literally don't even know that showing love, you could build different relationships even with you contacting me and saying, come on here, I love you.
Thank you.
You show nothing but love. Why wouldn't I want to do anything else that you have going on? I don't care if they have me on a VMA carpet and you reach back out and say, I have another podcast, I have another event, I have something else that I want you to do. A lot of times we let other people's success turn us into a hater when all you gotta really do is just show love because your time is gonna come.
Absolutely.
You just literally have to stay in your lane of what you do and your time is gonna come. And I think that a lot of people mess up their opportunities because they sit and they envy and feel like, oh, why that couldn't be me? Why I couldn't do this? Why I couldn't perform here? Why I couldn't host this event? Why don't I have 100,000 followers on Instagram? But it's all about building those connections. So that's why I make it my business. Even when I find myself in other situations, because a lot of people don't admit this, but everybody, I don't care who you are, we all have been in a place of being jealous. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
That's a natural feeling.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing, like love and hate. Everybody. Now I'm not saying everybody walk around envious of other people all day, but it has been a time in your life that you have been jealous of something. I don't care if it's a relationship, somebody getting married, a car that you wish that you had. That's just a natural feeling. But you have to continuously check yourself and know that your time is gonna come. You just gotta stay in your own lane.
Yes. Oh my God.
Last words. We got to move on after this, but last words. What, like, in the near future coming up, what can we look forward to seeing you at?
Oh, well, I had a meeting last week.
Okay.
With a
Drop
network.
bombs on us, give exclusives.
And then, no, because I'm not done. I'm not done.
Give us exclusives. You heard it here first on the MVP show.
You hear it?
It's two networks I'm about to be on. It's two
Okay.
that I can't say, but I'm not completely done with the process, and I don't want to prematurely put anything out there yet. Down.
Okay.
But yeah, two networks that I'm about to be on.
Well, can you give us one promise that when it's all solidified, the ink is dry, that you'll come back, hang out with us? Promise.
Down.
You see that?
I saw it. I saw the pinky.
Wait, before we wrap, I got one more question for you. So I know we were talking about major networks and things like that. You actually had the opportunity to work with BET. Didn't you do some red carpet on BET? Like, can we talk about that for a second?
It wasn't the red carpet. I did the One Music Festival.
Yes.
Was that? I think that was the week before last. I did the One Music Festival.
Yeah.
They reached out to me, and then they reached out to me 2 days later. After that, it was like, you just slayed it. You did amazing. We want to do more things with you. We want you to come back and do more things. It was amazing. And that day, because a lot of people, even the people that surround me, they see, so they're like, oh, you're famous. But to me, I'm just myself. And to me, famous is like Beyonce, right? That's like, I know I'm popular. I like to say more of a popular. I'm not delusional. I do know that I am popular. But famous to me is more like Beyonce, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. That's famous. But I can say, when I did the One Music Fest, I said, oh, I'm real popular. Because when they had me walking through to go to the main stage area, them women was going crazy. They put us back like 15 minutes because they kept stopping. Everybody wanted to take pictures. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Like, I have come such a long way in my career. I'm just so happy. I'm so blessed and I'm so appreciative. I am.
And for the viewers watching who might not know, unless they're living under a rock, where can they find you on everything social? All of your social media platforms.
My Instagram is @BigSexyOfficial. My TikTok is BigSexyOfficial0. My Facebook is Bryant B.
Period.
Did you do your OF?
Hold on. Hold on, time out. What is the word you say? Are you saying die? Oh, wait, what is
Down.
Down.
OF, baby.
Down. OnlyFans, babe.
He tried. So wait. So with
We
that
gonna
being
plug
said,
it, plug it.
I want to thank you so much, Big Sexy, for pulling up on the MVP show. It's a wrap for us. We are done. We are out. Peace. Wait, hold on. You gotta do one more thing. Can we move this table out the way? You gotta walk one time for it. You gotta walk one time for it. Move this table. Come on, he gotta walk one time. DJ, hit that beat.
I don't even need a DJ.
I know.
stuff on the MVP show. But look,
Absolutely.
always feel free to comment on anything that we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Ask your questions. We'll get them, and we can answer them right back. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta, to everybody watching, you're always a part of the conversation.
Absolutely. We need your response. We need to hear the dialogue, the conversation. You know, I'm right a lot of times. Sometimes I'm wrong. I need you to tell me that.
This motherfucker's wrong all the
Well,
time.
you know,
Okay.
tell me that.
Alright.
I don't think today I was, though.
So look, feel free to always chime in, comment.
He's always wrong. Always.
Shut up, 'cause we not gonna, y'all not about to go back and forth. Like
And
that.
give us topics.
You know what I'm saying? So look,
That part.
your feedback, we want your feedback to all our listeners out there. Always feel free to chime in. You know what? We got an MVP page too on Instagram. You guys can always send your questions in on that one and we will address them, alright? You already know what it is, the MVP.
Period.
Peace.
All right, we can cut them out, though. We can cut their commentary out.